Have here is our shirt, washed, stripped down, soaked in soda ash, spun out. I took a colander and placed it down on the backside like this. So now we have a shirt here laid over top. I'm going to take it, I'm going to start spinning it. Then I'll throw some rubber bands on it just to hold it temporarily till we get ready to lay the dye. Spun up, and as you see, I try to keep it in the cylinder around the edges. So when you put the rubber bands on, it makes it a lot easier. And if you want, you could go back and tighten up the folds a little bit, straighten them up to get a good design. I like to press it down on the top, because what we're going to do is fill this colander up with ice, set it on top. Usually about 10 pounds of ice per shirt. I prefer the cubes, not the cylinders. They seem to melt slower and they stack easier. So today we're going to do some ice dye, but what we're going to do in another experiment is I folded this one up, swirled it up on the regular table. I sat it on the colander. I rubber banded on there to hold it on there. This one over here, I actually laid the shirt down on top of it, the colander, and spun it up right on top of the colander and put the rubber band. You can actually see the different pattern. And we're going to throw some dye on there. We're going to throw some ice on there and see which one's the better method. Just throwing it on the colander, spinning it up, or spinning it up on your table. You get that sharper edge on the bottom. We'll see. So here we go. We got our dye all laid down. This one was spun up on the colander. This one was spun up on the table. I mean, it's not rocket science. We didn't measure out the dye or anything. We just used the same colors and the same pattern sort of, and we just want to see how the flow makes any difference. So we'll add the ice now. Usually I like to add at least 10 pounds of ice per shirt to get the full saturation. So here's the setup. We got our long tote. We got our rack in there. We got our shirts laying on our colanders. The shirt's been washed out, stripped down, soda ash for at least 20 minutes, half an hour, whatever you want to do. This one's been swirled on top of the colander. This one's been swirled on the table. We're going to lay some ice down on the top of it, approximately 10 pounds each. You see this dye laying in the tray. People say, oh, what a waste, what a waste. Not really. That's a 1-to-1 ratio dye also with the soda ash. Once the ice starts melting, it's going to come through this hole down into this bucket, which we already have 2 shirts wrapped up, pre-washed, soda ashed, ready to go. The muck will run in from the tote down into the bucket. We'll let it sit there for 3-4 days, whatever it may be. And we'll have 2 more muck dye shirts. So that's the basic setup for our ice dye system today. We're going to be doing 2 or 3, about an hour later. Got some flow going on. It's probably been about 3 hours now. The ice is almost gone. I'll do another refill. So now that all our ice has melted, we're going to move to the hot water irrigation step of it. You can see here I changed the muck bucket because we want to keep the stuff in the muck for a couple more days. And I actually went, before I'm going to hit it with the hot water, I just drizzled on a little bit more soda ash. So what we're going to do, we're actually just going to use hot tap water out of the washing machine we got running behind us, filling up for a washout. The water's about 130 degrees. That's the kind of temperature we like, so we get a nice flow of the dye. Because if you get it too hot, 160, 170, it almost instantaneously stops the dye. It bonds right there, and that's it. You don't get too much flow. That's what we find out. But we'll fill up a pitcher of the hot water and we'll pour it on and we'll show you what it looks like. Right here, I'm just going to fill this up with the hot water coming out the washer. No need to boil it or anything like that. I'll take it over there and I'll start pouring slowly over the shirts. Right now I have eye protection on to protect my face from the steam. I probably used about 3 pitchers of these for each shirt. You say, wow, that's a lot of water. Well, yeah, it is, but you want to use a lot of water to get that full saturation. That's the key to good tie-dye, is good saturation. I'll just keep pouring over this till it runs clear. Don't forget, you don't have to batch it or anything, so it's pretty much done. You know, you just wait for it to cool off, so don't be in such a big hurry. Awesome. When you want something awesome, it don't come in a hurry. It comes by patience and practice. So there you have it. The muck is flowing. Hot muck, so be careful. Like I said, you don't want to lean over top of it unless your face is protected, because it is giving off vapors. I'm sure the camera's not showing that, but there is vapors coming off these shirts. So I'll just let these sit down and cool for like an hour. Maybe take them outside, get ready to wash them out, and throw them in the washing machine.